Good evening and a belated good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I apologise for the delay going live tonight. It's been one of those evenings. If it could go wrong, it has gone wrong. We've had faulty mice, computer mice, obviously. We've had all sorts of issues, but I'm here. Good evening. It's Monday night. Thank you for joining me for another nervous chat. This week, I've got two guests, a husband and wife team. Lovely people that I've met at Thorpe Park way back in June, and they are absolutely lovely. They are a husband and wife team. They vlog theme parks together, but they also have separate channels for that they run independently. So without further ado, let's welcome Dave from Dave's Adventures and Carolyn from Kaz's Crafts and More. Good evening, guys.
Hello. All right, Darren.
How are you doing?
Yeah,
good, thank you.
No worries. Carolyn, do you want to move a little bit closer to Dave? I can't quite see you. We want to see your face as much as Dave's. As handsome as Dave is, I'd like to see your face too.
Yeah.
I hope you're both well. Thanks for coming on to the show.
Yeah, we're doing well.
Yeah, we're good.
Fantastic. So I suppose let's start with the obvious. How did it all start? Because obviously Dave's Adventures is sort of new, isn't it? It was Thrill Seeks originally.
It was, yeah. I changed my channel name. I thought, obviously, Thrill Seeks, it's more attractions based, whereas I'm just covering everyday stuff now. But it was Carolyn who found out about TPW, and then when I seen the Nemesis challenge, I thought, hang on, I can do that. But at the time, I still hadn't done the Smiler, so yeah, that was back in 2019.
That's cool. So how did you start off with your YouTube channel? I mean, I'm guessing from the fact that it's a monetized channel, it's been going for a little while, but
nearly 3 years now. 3 years in October, to be quite honest. Which I didn't know it'll go that far. I suppose in back of my mind it would, but yeah.
You worked hard for it to go that far. You were going
I have
everywhere.
worked hard, yeah, and I have covered quite a bit on the channel.
I must admit, yeah, your video collection is quite extensive. I've not been able to watch all of your back catalogue just purely because there is obviously quite a collection of vlogs there from all sorts of different attractions. You know, not just theme parks, obviously, because you don't just cover theme parks. As I put in the description, you know, it's everything from Welsh castles, countryside walks. You know, it's a real Aladdin's cave.
Like when we was doing like recording around Wales, we hadn't dreamt of doing videos on YouTube. It was, I think, just for our memories.
Yeah, that's from past holidays when we went to Wales. When you first started Thrill Seeks, you were thinking just theme parks.
Yeah.
But then you slowly changed and evolved it, and you've done loads of different things as well as just doing theme parks. So that's why you changed the name and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah.
So I think, you know, it does seem to be a common theme that we all start because we want to record memories.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of develops from there. Obviously, for me, it was more of I wanted to share my experiences of beating my anxieties, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. But certainly a lot of the people that I've spoken to, it, like yourselves, it started off, it was a way of keeping memories of all the places that you'd been, and then it just grows sort of from there, you know, which is fantastic, really. But obviously, Kaz, you have your own channel as well, which is centered around the homemade crafts that you do. And I mean, obviously I've seen some of the lives, because yours is predominantly lives based, isn't it, your channel?
Yeah, most of the crafts that I do, it is live, because I'm not entirely certain of how to film some of the stuff, and I'm a bit unsure of things. So I mostly do lives, and if I'm doing a live and stuff, I'm the kind of person, I like to keep my hands busy. If I'm not keeping my hands busy, I don't know what I'm doing, kind of thing. So I need something to keep my hands busy, and it was just easier to try different things out. And I thought I'll try and put them up and stuff. But I was actually encouraged to do my channel because of some other channels that we've been into and visited before. So it was something in the back of my mind, but I was really encouraged to do it by another channel. And I thought, you know what, I'll just try it. And at first it was just my normal name, but then in February this year, I was thinking to myself, you know what, I want to change the name. It's a bit boring just being Carolyn, just Carolyn Jews or whatever. And I wanted to change it to something that's more inclined. So I thought, well, Kathy's Crafts made it was sensible, because I was doing crafts and it was me doing it and stuff. And then I thought, well, if I add them more, I can put other things in as well. So there's not just crafting. There's a couple of games that I've tried to get onto YouTube, but haven't done too well. And there's been some stuff from Warwick Castle and some of the other places that we've been as well, but a different point of view to David, because I won't necessarily do the big posters and stuff. So it's a different point of view again.
Yeah.
If I do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, absolutely, yeah. Because I mean, obviously, you know, as a couple, you tend to find there's one vlogger in the couple. So obviously, you know, what you get is that person's opinion, you know, which is absolutely fair enough. So you have kind of the added benefit of bouncing off each other with regards to that. Both of you have very different likes, as I remember from our time spent together at Thorpe Park way back in June now. You know, it doesn't seem that long ago, but I was checking it today because I was like, I'm sure it was only maybe 2 months ago. No, it was back in June, because it was when I did my shark cabin stay. I remember that you both have very different tastes when it comes to theme park rides. You know, and then but as far as the lives is concerned and making videos for Kaz's Crafts, I like the live aspect to it, because for me, if I was trying to copy what you were doing, because I see them almost like an instruction video. If you're live,
one of the things I wanted to try and do is show people that there can be other people can do stuff in that.
Yeah, and the fact that you're live means that obviously if I try and do it and I get stuck, I can just message in. And get an instant response, and I think that's brilliant. That's real approachability, and you know, and I think that's I think a lot of people would obviously agree with me there, that, you know, having that ability, because we've all done it. We've searched YouTube for a video of how to do something, and you watch the video, and whatever bit it is that you can't quite get right, that's not featured in the video somehow. Well, certainly that's my experience, and I'd love to be able to just say to the person, you know, but how do you do this bit? This is where it's going wrong. And then so if you're live, obviously people have got that opportunity, and I'm sure they really appreciate that. So I think, you know, the lives is a very, very good process for your specific type of crafting. As I say, I enjoy watching them.
Sorry, I'm looking at the moment for stuff as I can do over the next month, with it being Halloween, try and big up Halloween kind of crafts. So I'm just trying to figure things out, what I can do, and start doing that. That's something that's bubbling in my mind at the moment. Kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to take advantage of the season, haven't you? You know, it's and I bet Halloween crafts is quite a vast experience and a vast resource to pick up on. So as I remember it,
I was going to
go on. Sorry, Dave.
There are pictures on Carolyn's Instagram, I think, when he applied, obviously, like a Halloween
Oh
being
yeah,
on
I did do
myself.
some Halloween makeup on David a couple of years
Yeah.
ago. It's because I was trying to sell makeup at the time, and I thought I'll do a Halloween look on him. Didn't work out as it was because I've never been too brilliant with some of the sales, but it was really good.
I'm gonna have to go through and have a look for that now, because I'm intrigued, Dave, to see you in Halloween makeup. I've got to say, got to see this. It's you know, it's a must see. So I'll be trawling through those later on. And if anybody else wants to have a look for Dave's Halloween makeup, I have included the links for Kaz's Instagram in the description for the video. So so please, you know, go and have a look, find Kaz's Instagram, follow her obviously, and have a look through for Dave's Halloween makeup, because I'm sure it's going to be quite interesting. I'm intrigued now, very intrigued. So I'll be doing that as soon as I get off air. So obviously, Dave, you, myself, and Kaz met at Thorpe Park in June. Now, as I remember it, Kaz, you suffer with anxiety from roller coasters to a similar degree to me.
Yeah.
And
Dave, was it
flat rides as well, like the big intense flat rides?
Yeah.
You won't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got it in my head, Dave, that you were not the Halloween fan. Kaz is the Halloween fan.
No, Halloween doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Like many scare mazes, and we're fine. We've been alright.
We both enjoy the dark rides and the Halloweens, but David will go on the big coasters, whereas I won't. I'm very nervous with coasters in general. Even the coasters that I know I enjoy, if I'm in the queue for too long or something, I start questioning whether or not I can actually do it, and it's a bit annoying at times. But David will do virtually anything, and he's all right about it.
I just think I only live once, but obviously there is like anticipation. I'm thinking, yeah, I can do that, and that's what I did with Smiler back in 2019.
Yeah, a ride you will never ever get me on. I don't care how much you try and anything. No.
And I thought, wow, and that became my number one for a few years, at least.
I love Smiler, and I'll be intrigued to see whether Saturday's rides will sway my my ranking of the Smiler, because obviously it's my UK number one at the moment. I absolutely love it, but obviously we're all going to Blackpool on Saturday, so I'll get to do Icon and Big One. You're not coming, Kaz? Oh, I am gutted.
It's too much of for the one day. For me, it's too much. I would have preferred to have stopped over or something. It's just way too much for me, all that travelling.
Yeah.
I am kind of a little disappointed in a way, but at the same time, it's just too much. We're going to Alton Towers the week after, and we've got 2 days there.
Yeah.
So it'll be that's what I'm going to try and concentrate on. But the other thing as well is I'm not certain if I should be doing coasters at the moment.
Yeah.
I was about to say, obviously, I know that you've undergone bariatric surgery recently, and how's the recovery from that going?
It's going well, I think, so far. I'm back. I'm on soft foods for the moment. From next Saturday, I should be able to eat, in theory, virtually anything. I say in theory because there are some foods that might take me a little bit longer and stuff. But from next week, I think it's meant to be more or less a normal-ish diet. So it's just a case of seeing what happens and stuff. But I'm just not certain about going on coasters just yet, because I don't want to do anything that's going to harm me, kind of thing.
Absolutely, of course, absolutely. Your health has to be the priority always, and you know, the same for anybody. My own son actually recently underwent some surgery and came with us to Alton Towers only about 4 weeks after his surgery, and I was, I don't know, the coasters, and I was like, no,
I was going to
you
say,
can't.
like,
Active for at least 6 weeks. It's only been 4 weeks. You know, we're not going to risk it. I'm sorry, but yeah. So I totally appreciate that. Yes, your health is the most important thing. Coasters will be around. They're not going to disappear. You can do those, you know, next year or whenever we next get the opportunity. You know, we'll sort out some dates for some future meetups. But yeah, your health is definitely the priority there. So you know, get yourself well, and then we'll get you on whatever rides we can going forward.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've still got to
Dave,
try and get back on 13 at some point, because I've only done that once so far. I managed to do that earlier in the year, so I've got to try and do that at some point. And
twice so far, but your second.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it the second time. I really did not enjoy races the second time. It made me queasy the second time. So I do need to get back on some of the rides at Alton Towers if I can. But the one that scares me about getting back on is Nemesis, because I haven't done it for 15 odd years. It might be more than that. It probably is more than that.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit conscious of getting back on that. But other than that, and I need to, at some point I should do Wicker Man. But the last 2 times that I've gone to do Wicker Man, that they haven't been able to put the lap bar down properly, so I've had to get off. So I don't know, obviously, if that will be different or not next time I go, but we'll see. Again, I'm a bit nervous about it, but we'll see.
It's, you know, it's all in your own time, isn't it? You know, it's, as you say, the first thing to do is get back on rides you've done before, refresh yourself with those. You know, I've only ever done Rita once, you know, and I make no thing about the fact that it still actually scares me. I don't know why it scares me, because I love stealth, but Rita somehow, I think it was because my experience of it was bad. It was a really bad experience, and I haven't got back on it since.
The first time I got on it, it was a night ride in 2019.
Wow.
And we got given fast passes because I'd been refused on Wicker Man. Yeah. I'd been given a fast pass.
Yeah.
Right. So we was no sooner there than on the second row. I didn't have time to think about it. And I'm sitting there and they come and strap me in, and I'm like, no, am I sure? No. Oh shit. Sorry.
No.
Sorry, I do apologise.
No, it's all right, don't worry. No, you're fine.
That's how I go on a coaster. When we're going up the lift hill, that is how I go. Right? And I'm like, I'll close my eyes, and then the counter goers, and we're gone. And we get over the little bunny hill, and I'm like, oh, I'm okay now. Fine, I'm okay. I was absolutely fine. And there's a little bit of another bunny hill at the end. The first bit's the top hat, isn't it? I mean. And then there's a little bunny hill at the end, and that gave me a little pop of air time, and I was okay. But the second time we did it, we ended up in something like, I think it was row 6 or something. Anyways, the seats felt much bigger, and I got a much bigger pop of air time, and I'm not keen on air time. I don't know what it is precisely, but I'm just not keen on it.
Yeah.
And it makes me even worse and stuff. And I was still nervous and everything, because it was only the second time, and it was daytime and everything. I attempted to keep my eyes open, but I didn't do that very well. And it just put me off. And then every time we've walked past it, for the last year or so, there's a great big long queue, and I just don't want to get in the queue. Because by the time I get to the station, I've built it up so much in my mind that I can't get on it anyways. And I've even done that. I've got to the station, I think on one occasion I've got there. No, I can't do it, and I've gone back off. Because that's what I'm like. I build it so much in my mind when I'm in the queue line, I can't always do it. And because I'm not keen on the airtime that I got and stuff, it just
it throws you.
Yeah.
do you know what, that whole queue line experience that you've just described is exactly the same for me. I'm better the shorter the queue is. If I've had to queue for a long time, I've had time to think it over, second guess myself, stress about it, you know.
Yeah.
And as James here, Coaster Chicken, is saying, he's exactly the same. The queuing is the worst. If I could just get straight onto a ride, I'd be far better.
Yeah.
For me,
for me personally, if I could get on the ride and skip the lift hill, I'd be fine. Them are the queue and the lift hill are the two worst things about any ride that I've been on so far.
I was going to say, Rita, there's not much of a
no,
lift hill now.
No, I like, that's one thing that I do like about Rita, the fact that there isn't a lift hill, because it's just wham and you're gone.
Yeah.
That is the one thing that I like. But the rest of it, I'm still wigged by.
Yeah. It's, you know, well, obviously it's everybody conquers these things in their own time, and you know, and hopefully you'll get there. Obviously, Dave experienced back in June my anxiety getting the better of me, and it was the first time for about 12 months that I'd actually had to walk away from a ride, and Dave saw exactly what happened. It was depth charge. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And Gabriel wanted to do it with me, and I started climbing the stairs for it, which wasn't a good move for me anyway. And then I just felt really unsafe, and felt, you know, that like I couldn't protect him, and so many things started kicking off, and you know, and I ended up having an anxiety attack, I suppose, and had to come away.
Yeah.
I think what made us laugh was the fact that I came off that. We walked round the corner 5 minutes later, and I did stealth with Dave without any issues, you know. And to the average person, that would have been like, well, hold on a minute, depth charge is a slide.
I was going to say, Darren, you felt probably a bit anxiety, like shaky.
Yeah, but depth charge is a slide, but you still there's only so much between you and the slide. And I can completely understand where you're coming from, because you're not really strapped in. It's not really secure. So I completely understand.
Absolutely.
I probably wouldn't have even have gone up there, because I'm the same with water slides as I am with roller coasters and stuff. I've only done a couple. I've only done a couple of water slides, and then was when I was very young. So I'm completely the same with them. Because we have been to.
We've been to Sandcastle.
Yeah, we've been to the Sandcastle in Blackpool, and David got the ticket to go on all the different water slides, and I didn't do any of them. I just went around the Lazy River, and when we stopped at Javier Moore, they've got slides and stuff there, and the only one as I could do was the smallest ride, and I got up there, sat down. I couldn't get myself to push down. I had to ask the lifeguard to give me a shove so that I actually went. Otherwise, I would have stood back up and gone. Because I was sitting on the edge and I just could not get myself to do it. And she said, "Do you want me to give you a shove?" "Yes, please." And that was the only way I actually went down.
Yeah, I mean, lots of other people are saying that, you know, those kind of slides are a problem for them. Lindsay, Coaster Hen, can't do slides either, as she says, and as you just identified there. Where's the safety restraint? You know, my security comes from having something that straps me in. The stairs for depth charge are also not the greatest set of stairs in the world. To me, it just looks like a slightly stronger scaffolding, which
I was going to say, at Blackpool Pleasure Beach Revolution, that's all stairs, but it's just got like a single. Well, technically, you can say it's two inversions in one, in a vertical loop and then backwards.
It's actually a boomerang coaster, but it's a looped boomerang coaster.
Okay, it sounds good. I
Yeah.
actually did my first ever boomerang coaster at Paulton's Park, the Velociraptor.
Yeah, it's not like that. I mean, I don't know if there is like POVs on Revolution.
There is.
There probably is.
I'm sure there is.
But yeah, like
there is. I've watched them.
I've only seen it once or twice, I believe. But yeah,
I just want to go up the stairs because the stairs to me don't look safe, and I'm not too keen on coasters that do loops anyways. And the ones that I did manage to do years ago, I'm not that keen on them. So I just won't go up the stairs and just look at it and think, no, goodbye.
Yeah. Which is fair enough. I think, you know, a lot of people would be put off by that kind of climb.
Yeah.
I think, you know, it will certainly take some pushing for me if the stairs are that bad. But I am determined to get on as many different things as I can on Saturday, because this is kind of a one-shot wonder for me.
You definitely got to try and do Avalanche. Avalanche is really good. And that is one of the rides that I really enjoy. I haven't done it for quite a while, but I do really enjoy it. So you definitely want to try and get on that one. At the moment, I've got to try and get back on all the woodies because I haven't done Stray at all. I only did Blue Flyer back in February for the first time. I just hadn't been near it for whatever reason. And I've got to try and get back on National and Big Dipper because I haven't done either of those two for absolutely ages. So those are my those are my goals for the next time as I go, which will probably be next year at the moment.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So obviously, coming back to the YouTube channel, Dave, we'll talk a bit about Dave's adventures. I've all of a sudden seen all these videos coming out with scratch cards.
Yeah,
and I was kind of I was like, I've got to ask him about this because I you know,
I don't know, really. I felt like I wanted to change it up. Obviously, there's only me and Carolyn was discussing like previously. I think because I've done like loads of videos on Alton Towers in particular, it's lost its charm for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like after meeting up with Ben and his family on National Roller Coaster Day, I think that was last time I've been back. Obviously, we're going back again in a few weeks' time and meeting up with other content creators. And I think for the moment that's what I enjoy mostly about going back to Alton Towers. And I think hopefully, like obviously next year we've got the cruise and everything, but we do want to look about going to European parks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to start branching out and do other places. Most definitely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, everybody loves variety, you know, and I totally understand what you're saying about, you know, not wanting to make another Alton Towers vlog. I kind of got a bit like that with Thought Park this year.
Yeah.
Because obviously I did opening weekend, Mardi Gras twice, another vlog during the summer, I think it was, and I went to Carnival with every intention of vlogging, and actually I just thought, I've been here and I've filmed 4 times this year already. I'm kind of losing the interest to vlog. But when I went to Paulton's Park, I felt inspired again because, you know, brand new park, never been here before. I'm excited. The vlog will be exciting.
Yeah, I think part of it is for us is we've been to Alton Towers so many times, and now we've been to Fork, we've been to Chessington, we've been to Paulton.
I've been to Drayton Manor.
We've been to Drayton Manor as well. Times. Yeah, well that's our local park, Drayton Manor.
Yeah.
But we've been to more than just Alton Towers. So now that we kind of know what's out there, we're like, do we really want to go back to Alton Towers? I mean, for certain things like Scarefest, yeah, fine for this year. And we're probably going to go and have a look at the Christmas stuff because I didn't do that last year.
Yeah.
So we will go and do that, I think. But apart from the occasional things that look really, really good, we're probably not going to go as much as we was doing because there's only so much you can do at the parks, and especially if I'm chasing after David when he's going on all the coasters, I don't get to do a lot of the things anyways. So it's like, oh, do I really want to go again? Not really. But we'll go somewhere else and try something else, and it's a bit different and stuff. So
yeah, no, absolutely. I must admit, when I started vlogging, obviously I've done a few places other than theme parks, and I want to try to do a bit more of that because, you know, I don't just go to theme parks. Obviously, I visited the Harry Potter studios this year, did a vlog there.
Yeah, something I'd like to go and visit is the Harry Potter studios because I really like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Do you know what, that studio tour is literally, as the crow flies, 5 minutes from my house.
Wow.
It's in a car, it's 10 minutes from where I live, and it is a great attraction. It is a great attraction. It's expensive. I'm not going to lie. It is expensive, but it is worth it if you are. Well, you don't. I mean, I'm not a massive Harry Potter fan. I do like the films. Not going to lie. You know, great, but I wouldn't call myself a massive Harry Potter fan. But
no,
even I couldn't help but feel in awe of what I saw there. You know, you sort of appreciate the amount of work that went into making the film, and so yeah, you've definitely got to get down to see that. If you get a chance, get down and see it because it's worth it. You know, it's I would recommend it to anybody at least once, because it's certainly an experience. And as I say, you totally come away appreciating just how much work has gone into those films to make that magic look real. You know, it's quite phenomenal. So yeah, you've definitely got to do that one. That's a must do. I think it should be on everybody's bucket list, personally, because it is one of those must see things. Even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, you can't help but appreciate, you know, what's there, and as I say, the work that went into making those movies what they are. So I definitely think that's a good one to do. Obviously, you briefly touched on there on your cruise, which I know when we met up in June was your dream sort of trip that you were talking about, was you know, hoping to be able to go on this cruise. And then, of course, I saw the announcement that you booked it, and I was like, that's fantastic, because I knew how much it meant to the both of you to be able to go on this cruise. Where are you going, and where are you sailing?
We will be sailing from Southampton on the P&O Ventura.
Ventura.
And we will be visiting Portugal, so Vigo, Porto, Lisbon, and then Cherbourg in France.
Yeah.
Lisbon's our second port of call.
Yeah. So we're visiting 4 different places. And
fantastic.
I'm not sure if the first 3 are all in Portugal or if one's in Spain as well. I get a little confused.
Vigo, North Spain.
Vigo's North Spain. That's it.
Yes, it would be, because Celta Vigo, the football team, or a Spanish football team.
Yeah, so that's it's across 7 nights.
Wow,
and it's
fantastic.
Just gonna. I've been wanting to do a cruise I've been wanting to do a cruise for a really long time, and I've always thought like maybe a Baltic cruise or something, but they are really, really expensive, the Baltic cruises, from what I've seen. But when I was looking at some other options and stuff, and I kept coming back to either a 4-night cruise with like 2 different ports, Amsterdam and somewhere else. But then we actually went into a travel agency and asked them what would they look like, what could they do for us, kind of thing. And she looked it up, and we were thinking I was thinking April or around my birthday, and I didn't want to pay more than 500 as well for each of us. And she's just pulled it up and stuff, and she's actually gone for the she went for the 7-night cruise, because I was leaning more towards that anyway. And yeah, it worked out. So it's 500 each, and we're going, like I said, we've got 4 different ports, and we'll have pretty much the whole day in each of those ports, and it's just going to be really good. And you know, it's just one of the things that I've really been looking into. And then the other thing that we're planning for, and we've got to save for, is we've been invited to Australia. I have relatives that live in Australia, and so does David.
Yeah.
So we need to know, as well as paying for the cruise, we need to save money for flights, and we can actually fly to Australia and then stay with our relatives in Australia, and that will hopefully be in 2025. Not sure about when exactly, but it will be at some point in 2025. And that is the plan, and we'll probably be there for a good month, all in all, when we go. Because there'll be lots of things for us to do there. We might visit Luna Park. I don't know what else we'll do as well, but there'll be loads for us to do. And again, that's something else once in a lifetime, because I don't know if we will ever go again or anything. And it's something that's so big, don't know how else we can do it, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's a once in a lifetime trip, isn't it? I was just thinking then, Dave, when you were talking about the cruise and that, and I was thinking, I know how you love to go on walkabouts and do your lives sort of, and I just had this vision of you walking round the deck in big circles, and all we can see is sea. And you trying to desperately make it interesting. Go, oh look at that little wave. Did you see that wave? And then look, swordfish. I could just see. In fact, I think you should do it. I think you actually should. Just film the sea for about 10 minutes, and just try and make it as interesting as you can for 10 minutes. I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
But as you say, Australia. I mean.
Sorry, I was going to say, I think we have to pay extra maybe for Wi-Fi on the ship. I don't know. But
that's okay. Don't do it as a live. It's all right. Don't have to do it as a live.
Yeah, the add-ons are things that we can figure out once we've paid for the initial cruise, and then we can sort out what we want and stuff. But you get 10 gigabytes of internet anyways, and then you can roll it back from Sky, so you don't necessarily need to worry about we're going live and stuff. We're both with Sky, so we can both roll it back and stuff.
If it's of any help to you at all, my in-laws are seasoned cruisers. They go on cruises 2-3 times a year. So if you do need any help with anything like that, please message me, and I can ask them questions, because they know all the little tricks, the hacks, the how to avoid paying excessively for this, for that. So please get in touch, and I can always ask them for any advice on things, because as I say, they've been everywhere.
The one thing that confuses me is my mum keeps mentioning about how if we have drinks or anything, it'll probably be charged to the room, and then we'll have to pay when we get off. And I'm thinking, hang on, nobody's told us anything about this kind of thing. So what does that mean? We have to take extra money with us, kind of thing? I was just thinking, well, if we take extra money, can't we just pay it over the bar rather than it being charged and stuff?
I believe it's charged to the room constantly, and then anything that isn't included in the cruise is payable as you leave the cruise at the end. They do drinks packages, which are, and it's funny you mention exactly that, because I was talking to my mother-in-law today about this, because my wife and I have been talking about a cruise, and we'd said we'd seen a couple of just small European cruises, and she was saying to us, get the drinks package, because even if you just have a glass of wine with dinner, or a couple of beers in the evening, it's worth doing that rather than paying by the beer.
Yeah.
So look into that definitely, because they all do them. They do drinks packages. You pay a certain amount up front, and then you don't have to worry about big bills at the end, because the last thing you want after a fantastic cruise is to be slapped with this massive bill for the drinks you've had. So definitely have a look into that, because I think you potentially would save some money from that. Obviously, we touched on so no, go on, Kaz.
I was about to say, we know that some of the specialty restaurants, they'll obviously be extra. But we should have a buffet restaurant that we can go to.
Yes,
we're
yes.
not actually big drinkers, so we'd probably go better for a soft drinks package if that's what we can do. I don't know. But
they may well do one. Yeah, no, that's fair enough, and they may well, as I said, it's something to look into. Have a look into it definitely, because most people, or a lot of people, first-time cruises, they don't buy the drinks package because on paper it looks expensive, but then once they've actually done the cruise and they go to get off, and then somebody goes, "All right, here's your bill," and then all of a sudden that drinks package that they didn't want at the beginning looks like far better value for money. So just a tip there, just look into it. I'm not saying it works for you, but it might work for you. So so definitely look into that.
I think when everything is paid and stuff, we'll probably look at what else we need to add on, because the other thing that we've been looking at is the excursions, trying to figure out whether or not the excursions are very good, because I'm very wary that if we just go off the boat and DOS, as it were, go around by ourselves, we've got to make sure that we're back on the ship for a certain time, whereas if we're on a sanctioned trip, if anything happens, the ship will wait for us, I believe. So I'm a little unsure as to which is which, but some of them are quite pricey. So again, that's something else that we're going to try and look up for and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all those things that you need to go. But this unlimited buffet that you've mentioned is causing a whole load of comments to come through now. Everyone's going, oh, unlimited buffets. Can't.
I don't know if it's unlimited or not. I just know that there is a buffet. We would have a buffet.
I think it's mostly about 18 hours.
I don't know.
Something like that.
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to go that often anyway.
No.
No, I can't do that now.
If there's an 18-hour buffet, I wouldn't need an excursion. My excursion would be to the buffet table, and that would be about as far as I'd get. One
of the reasons definitely for me wanting to do this kind of cruise is I've never been abroad, so it'll be so fantastic that I'll be able to get off the ship and visit different places.
Yeah, absolutely. So next thing I want to talk to you about is obviously many people probably don't know that you guys don't drive like myself.
No.
Yet you seem to manage to get to all of these theme parks. How do you find getting around using public transport the way that I know you do? I mean, is it easy enough if you plan it well? I don't know. I don't have any experience on it, so.
I'm the one that does the planning. I have to do the planning. That's how I work. And again, to be fair, 9 times out of 10, it's quite all right. Once it's planned out and everything. So I will go through and I will find a suitable time that isn't for a buzz or something. This is me doing the planning, not David. Right, so I will find a suitable time that is not too early in the morning or too late at night, so that we can get back into Birmingham, say, and or wherever we're going that's closest to home at a reasonable time, and then still be able to get buses and stuff from wherever we've been. So we're very fortunate in the fact that we live in Walsall, and Walsall has very good bus links and very good train links as well if we need them. And we're literally a 15-minute walk from the town centre. So once we've walked into Walsall, we've got buses to Birmingham, buses to Wolverhampton, buses and everywhere, really, effectively. So it's £4 for a day saver on the West Midland buses. So in theory, if you could stay on the West Midland bus, you could go as far as you like. So they're really quite good value for money and stuff. And so then it's just a case of just planning out where we're going. So if we go to Towers, we now plan it so that we get up quite early. We get up about 6:30, maybe a bit before that. Walk down Tower, and get the bus to Wolverhampton. The 529 runs every 5 minutes or so. Most of the time, about 10 minutes, I think, early in the morning and later at night. But it runs very, very often, the 529. So then once we're in Wolverhampton, it's a train from Wolverhampton to Stafford, and again there every few minutes, because you don't have to get a train going specifically to Stafford, just as long as it goes through Stafford.
Yeah.
So there's one of them every few minutes, and that's £10 for a return. And then from Stafford, Alton Towers now has a bus that runs twice a day. So it runs to the park and then back from the park. And that is £12 return. And the good thing with the bus as well is if you're stopping overnight, you can use the return the next day as well.
Wow,
so
that
really,
is good.
Really good.
Yeah.
The only slight problem with the bus sometimes is that there should really be 2 buses rather than just one. One is not always enough. We've experienced that in the past.
Yeah.
That we've been lucky because we've got on Stafford. We're lucky because that's the first stop. But by the time we've gotten to Alton or Uttoxeter sometimes, they're actually turning people away. So they really should have 2 buses at least.
Yeah.
That run at least from Uttoxeter. Sometimes there's been an extra bus, sometimes there hasn't. But they really do need at least 2 buses, I would say. And then you get to Alton Towers, you're there for
all day, essentially.
Yeah, you're there all day. They recently changed the time, so it leaves Stafford at 20 to 9 now.
Yeah.
And you get to Alton Towers for 10:30, which is roughly most of the time when they're opening the gates anyways. So you're not really any later.
Yeah.
No, it's about 10 to 10.
Is it about 10 to 10
like
now?
that, yeah.
It might depend on traffic. So, 10 to 10 to 10:30, depending on the traffic and on the day. And then coming back, you've got the bus at 5:30. So you've got the bus at 5:30. And then occasionally at Halloween and stuff, they do a later bus at 8:30, I think it is.
That didn't happen last year.
No, it might not have happened last year.
Like around 5-ish. Obviously, we did all the scare mazes. And, but yeah, like this year, we are stopping in a guest house. So
yeah, we're stopping in the area this time.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Alton Towers are starting to improve their connection to the outside world from public transport. I mean, it sounds like it's still not a patch on the Thorpe Park bus setup. I mean, a phenomenal setup, really, because when I've had to go by train on the couple of occasions that I've gone by train, that Thorpe Park bus, you get to Staines Station, and there's literally 3 or 4 of them lining up in the car park, and they just literally load people on, and they just run. There's no timetable. They just keep running until they've got everybody to the park.
Yeah.
And the same coming back from park closing time onwards. They just keep the buses moving and moving and moving until everybody's sort of out of the park, really. And it does seem to be a great system. But
we actually
we've never
we haven't been on that bus. When we came, we stop at
Chertsey.
Yeah, we stop in Chertsey and use the local bus. Because that was when I searched it, Chertsey was coming up as being the closest relatively cheap hotel area to stop. And we stopped with Premier Inn. So that was what we went for. I'm aware that there is one in Staines, but it was more expensive than the one in Churchley. So we went for Churchley, and then we just had to. Obviously, we had to get a coach to London. We did it last time. We did a coach to London through National Express, which is really good value for money. And then from London, we got a couple of one bus to Waterloo Station rather than the train, rather than the tube like we did the other time.
Yeah.
And then from Waterloo Station, the train out to Churchley, and then it's just a walk around the corner from the train station there to the hotel.
Yeah.
And then the buses were quite frequent. They were like every half an hour or so, I think, up until a certain time, and we could get one. I think it was one ticket, but there was actually two bus companies that we could get on, so it didn't matter which ticket we had as well. I'm sure that was what it was. We was told we could use it on both buses, which was really good. So yeah, it was really quite good.
Yeah, that's cool. As I said, I've only recently started finding my way to parks using public transport, and certainly getting to Stoke-on-Trent from here, which is what I've got to do on Friday night.
Yeah,
is a bit of a rigmarole because actually I've got to go into London to come back out of London.
Yeah.
So it's it is a
we had to do
bit of a
that
mission.
to go to Portons. We had to go into London and then change at Victoria in London to go out to Southampton, and that was on National Express.
That was us,
but it was still reasonably easy to do. It's the simple fact that when I left school, my mum and dad weren't in the same position as they were with my sister to give me driving lessons. And then because I moved to Warsaw, I don't need a car. I really do not need a car in Warsaw. I've got buses everywhere, and then the train. And to just try and save up for one of us to learn to drive, it's 60 quid a lesson, I think, at the moment. I'm sure it
is terribly expensive, yes.
And then we've got to save up for a car as well. So by the time we've paid for all of that, we might as well just pay. We can pay the same on public transport. And touch wood, I say touch wood, we haven't had a problem. I think the only time where things went a bit, it wasn't really a problem, but things went a bit awry, was the one year we visited Wales and they put on a replacement coach service from Hickcliffe.
No, Harley
to Pwllheli because the train had been I think
problems with the track, to be quite honest, and
I used to live out that way on that exact railway line, which is the Cambrian coastline.
Yeah.
And it was notoriously a terrible service, especially after Butlins closed down in Penachine, which is just down from Pwllheli. And the train service just got progressively worse from there because obviously its main purpose was to bring people from the West Midlands up to Butlins. But once that had closed, it got worse and worse. And I must admit, I think trying to get a coach from Harlech to Pwllheli along that coastline was optimistic. I know what those roads are like. They
managed it. We got there, and when we got on the coach going, we was fine going. Coming back, we've got no notification on our tickets telling us the times of the coaches.
No.
So we go to the bus station and say to him, and I think we said something to the driver about when does that coach leave that was there, and we're thinking we've got until 2:00 because our tickets were for 2:00. So we went away, had something to eat, and went back to the bus station. The coach was gone.
Yeah.
And that panicked me. I'm like, shit, what's going to happen? you know, our tickets were time Pacific, this, that, and the other, and I was
Yeah,
really
of course.
panicking, really panicking. In the finish, we got on the next coach, which left at like 20 to 3 or something, and then on to the train after that, and they never said a dicky bird on the train.
But I already knew.
But for that half an hour or so before we got on the coach, I was in floods of tears. Everything. I was thinking I was going to have to get my mom to come and drive and pick us up or something, anything to get back, and I would have gotten back. But it was just, I was having my own mini panic attack at that point, because I'm like, how the hell am I going to get back?
Yeah. No, I can totally appreciate that. I know what it's like when you've got a plan. It's for me, it's an anxiety trigger, and it sounds like it was for you that day as well. That if I've got a plan in my head of certain way things are going to happen or should happen, and they don't, yeah, it's quite easy to fall apart. So I totally empathise with you about that, because I would have been the same. I would have literally been the same. I would have gone into a panic, and I would have really struggled then. So I can totally empathise with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, what I like to try and do at the end of the show is throw the questions open to anybody in the audience. I think Dave's shied away, Carolyn. He's let you do all the talking for him. He's hiding away in his Christmas smiler jumper.
Yeah. That tends to happen. I will be a little bit more outspoken than David. David tends to be quite quiet.
Get in there and you're like, you say no.
I don't mean to.
That's fair enough. So if anybody has any questions for Dave and Carolyn, or Carolyn, now's your opportunity. Here we go. Coaster Chickens straight in.
Yeah.
Favorite dark ride, both of you?
Oh, go on, you.
The Haunting.
Now, for me, it's the other one, Hex, which still this year haven't done.
No, we're going to do that next
yeah.
time. We're going to go do that.
Yeah.
Every time we've been recently,
it's been closed. Shut. Yeah, I'm thinking great.
Yeah, I really enjoy the Haunting when we get a chance to go to Drayton Manor, and I just love it. I enjoy Hex as well, and I love how both rides are very similar, apart from the story. But I just really enjoy both of them. But the Haunting is the one that I've gone on first, so I tend to enjoy that one and love that one more than Hex.
Drop towers, yes or no?
David will.
Yes.
David will do drop towers. I look at him and think, no way, Jose. The only one in my mind that I think I might be able to do, and I'm only saying might, I don't know, is if we ever went to Disney, I might be able to do Tower of Terror because of the theming, because it's a dark drop tower and it's enclosed and it's all the theming with it from what I've seen on PRVs and stuff. But I'm really not certain if I would actually do it on the day. But so far as towers in general are concerned, no. I hate height. I absolutely hate height.
Favorite UK coaster, Dave?
Oh, favorite Soar Divide. Yes, Soar Divide.
Oh no, not another Soar fan. Oh dear me.
Yes.
I actually see so many posts on Instagram of Soar that it does sometimes become a little tedious. That, you know, because so many people seem to have this love for Soar. I don't see it. It's a good ride. I don't see.
I don't know. It's just my opinion. Of course. I like all of it, to like start to finish.
Whereas mine at the moment is Vampire.
See, quality coaster there, Kaz. Well done. Yes. Everybody loves Vampire. I don't think anybody can hate Vampire. It's that coaster, isn't it? We all started there and worked our way from there. You know, it really is. Favorite theme park? Ben from Ben and Holly's Theme Park Adventures would like to know what your favorite theme park is.
In England, or
I'm guessing just anywhere.
Favorite theme park? Yeah, it's gotta be for me.
I would have always have said Drayton Manor or Alton Towers, but now that we've gone to others, I don't really have a favourite anymore, to be fair.
That's
in
honest.
the UK. So, but before I would have always have said them. The one places I really want to try and get to in Europe would be Efteling. That's just on my bucket list. Efteling is. I really want to try and get there at some point. We had planned to go to Efteling last year.
Back in
2020 even. We'd planned to go and we'd paid it all up and everything, and then the C word hit, didn't it? So, you know, we were booked up to go for Christmas, just before Christmas. That was when we were booked up for. So, no. We moved it back to March, hoping that we could maybe go then.
No.
And no, we had to cancel it completely, get our money back for the flights, which took ages to get back, and then we had to cancel the hotel as well. We just couldn't do it. And the money from that got played into other things that we've never saved again. But that was something that we really wanted to do. And I don't know about some of the coasters there, but I'm half thinking that I would try and do most of them again because of the theming. The level of theming at Efteling, from what we've seen on videos, is Disney standard, even higher than Disney from what we've seen. So I'd be more inclined to try and do the bigger roller coasters because of the theming. I'm even partly tempted, or part of me wants to try and get on it, Baron, and I would never do a dive coaster. I would never do Oblivion if you paid me £1 million. But Baron, because of the theming and it's meant to be smaller, I'm half thinking I might try. I might try. I won't necessarily do it, but I would like to try and get onto it because of the theming from what I've seen. And it's just one of the, again, it's another, for us it would be another once in a lifetime thing, because I don't know if we would be able to do it too often, to go and stop over and what have you. But it's something that we really wanted to do, and it just got cancelled, unfortunately, at the time. So it's something that we've got to look into.
I'm sure the opportunity. I'm sure there'll be another opportunity. You could,
no doubt.
You know, these things. Sam would like to know your bucket list coaster. If there was one coaster, Dave, that you could ride, what would it be?
Right. I was hoping for theme park, right? You may have noticed my mug here. Now, one of this mug is actually from overseas in Canada, and this is my bucket list coaster. I don't know if you can see that. Yukon Striker over in Canada's Wonderland. I've seen videos, I've seen lives there, and just seeing it, it's like Cedar Point, but I think, wow, 2 bucket list coasters there for me. Yeah, Yukon Strike being one of them, and Leviathan.
I think I would really like to go and do Forbidden Journey in America at Universal. I think I would really like to try and do that one. From what I've seen of everything, it just looks so fantastic. The Forbidden Journey does. I think it is Forbidden Journey, the Hagrid's Ride or whatever it's called.
Yes, I know which one you mean. Obviously tonight the coaster capturers aren't with us because they're enjoying ABBA up in Blackpool, I believe. So Dale's busy up on stage doing Super Trooper. But Coaster Chicken has jumped in here with his question that he asks every guest every week. Favorite film?
Favorite film.
Right, at the moment for me, I really love fantasy films. So for me personally, one of my favourite ones is Labyrinth, and another one with that is The Dark Crystal as well. Both of those are so. I just love them. I just love them completely. And I would have to also say Neverending Story in fantasy as well.
3 excellent films. I've seen all 3 and I love them like you. I can totally totally see where you're coming from with those three films, and yeah, I grew up loving them and still love them to this day. So absolutely, I can certainly empathise on that one with you. How about you, Dave? Favorite film?
I think for me, oh god, that's kind of tough. I'd have to say Lord of the Rings, all of them.
Okay.
The whole franchise.
Yeah.
We've got well, I've got mostly the extended versions, but it's been a while since.
Yeah, I would say the films for the Lord of the Rings are very good, and I'm kind of watching the new thing on Amazon at the moment, and so the films are very good. However, the book, I read The Hobbit once.
Yeah.
No, I could not get on with reading it. It took me, I think it took me about 6 months to try and read it because I kept putting it down because the style of writing, for whatever reason, wasn't catching my attention. And the only two bits as I remember it getting slightly interested was when he was nearly squashed by the trolls and then nearly burnt to death by the dragon. And the only two bits that I remember The Hobbit being slightly interesting. But no, it must just be something about the style of writing, because in general, fantasy books I do enjoy, but it has to be a certain style of writing. So I like the Harry Potters. I like anything that's got magic or supernatural in it. But for some reason, the Hobbit, I just could not get into the style of writing. So because I couldn't get into the style for The Hobbit, I haven't read The Lord of the Rings because there was no point.
Fair enough.
I've read them, but it is hard going.
Great question here for you from Coaster Chicken, actually. Would you rather box Mike Tyson or do a rap battle with Dr. Dre?
Oh god, that's tough.
That is a tough
one. Probably
box,
I'm probably getting knocked out.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily be able to rap, but I can sing, so I'd perhaps have a go at Dr. Dre, but I'm not certain.
How about you, Dave? Fancy a couple of rounds with Mike, or out rhyming Dr. Dre?
Mike, probably one.
Yeah, David said Mike Tyson.
Fair play. Coke or Pepsi, guys? The ultimate question, isn't it? It's like the meaning of life. This.
Coke. Yeah.
I would always say Coke as well, but I can no longer have either. So it's one of. It's
probably not a bad thing.
No, it's one of the things from surgery is I can't have I don't think I can have fizzy pop anymore, as it gas does something to you. So So I can't have it. To be fair, most of the time I drink water anyways. I was down to perhaps having one can occasionally and before starting on my journey. But now it's just water or squash or juice. That's all I can have now, really.
Fair enough. Last couple of quick questions. Harry Potter or Twilight? Ooh.
Harry Potter. Yeah, Harry Potter.
See, I like both, and I've read both sets of books as well. So for me, it's I would just have to say both.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I'm Harry Potter, but that's because of there's personal reasons behind that, and somebody from my past who loved the Twilight Saga. That means I couldn't ever watch it again without bad memories. So
I've probably reread the Harry Potter books more than I have the Twilight books at the moment. But I have read both, and I really enjoyed both. But I would say that Harry Potter is more rereadable.
I would agree with you on that. But final question of the night, because we're going to have to wrap this up, guys, because we've been chatting away, and we've still got loads more to say. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Are you true West Midlanders and drink your tea?
Tea. Yeah, definitely tea for me.
I like both. However, I can no longer drink coffee. Not because of the operation per se, But when it comes to coffee, I have to have sugar. I have to have at least 3 sugars in my coffee, and very weak coffee.
Yeah.
And I can't have sugar anymore, so I'm now having to drink tea instead. Because tea I can drink without sugar.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But to be fair, if you gave me the choice, I would have always gone for hot chocolate more.
Nice. That's thrown in a curveball there. Right, as I say, I think we're going to have to wrap this up.
Yeah.
It's been lovely having you on, guys. And Dave, I can't wait to see you on Saturday in Blackpool.
Yeah,
and
Kaz,
I can't wait to see yourself again. Hopefully, it'll probably be next year now. But we will meet up again, certainly.
Yeah, definitely.
Either when you're down south or at Alton Towers, we'll you know, even it's tonight when I mentioned to Gabriel that you were on the show. He said, "Oh, Dad, can I stay up and watch? Can I stay up and talk to them?" And I said, "No, you can watch the video tomorrow, but I will arrange for them. You know, we can do a video call with them some other time if you'd like to talk to them." So you obviously left a big impression on him because he really wanted to stay up and talk to you tonight. So I was he very much remembers meeting you and really enjoyed that. So thanks for coming on, guys. It's been absolutely lovely. Obviously, if anybody wants to subscribe to Dave and Kaz's channels, please do. The links for their channels are in the description, as are their Instagram links. So please go and check them out, follow and subscribe. And thank you everybody for watching tonight. It's overrun slightly, but we just had so much to talk about, and I could talk to Dave and Kaz for hours quite happily. And the Brummie accent just reminds me of my nan. God bless her soul. And so it's always a bit of a nostalgia thing listening to you guys talking. So that's lovely as well. But thank you so much for coming on. It's been absolutely lovely. And I hopefully, as I say, Dave, I'll see you on Saturday, and Kaz, hopefully I will see you soon. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye. Right, guys. Next week, I have Jake coming on from Out and About UK, another YouTuber vlogger who I've spoken to quite a few times, and some of you may well be familiar with on Instagram. So please tune in next week for that, because it should be another great episode. Thank you so much for watching tonight. As always, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. All subscriptions are really appreciated. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with us. Obviously, it's been a longer show tonight, but there was a lot to talk about, as you can understand. And talking to Dave and Kaz is a great pleasure, as I'm sure you've come to know and love them as I do myself. But thank you for watching, and if you're watching the recording, thank you for watching. It's really appreciated, and I will see everybody next week at 8 o'clock for another episode and another guest. Until then.